They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and off they set of amazing adventures. Bam! Solved any complicated case. They became loyal celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get a reward. All you would be so happy. What? Huh? And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe I'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasized about buying Olia's a Tamagotchi. Buying Olia a Tamagotchi. A Tamagotchi? Yeah, I think it's a Tamagotchi. And getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what is the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had any money to afford sweets. And Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Sometimes I gave her my share, too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a little pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. Anton, I'm going outside. Mom, yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals? Or something even worse? Even worse? Echoed the hallway. Anton, I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. How are you gonna do an investigation without going into the forest? How? Mom, did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself? Mom, better go pack your school bag or play with Olia. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Might as well. Anton, Mom said, I'll whoop you if you make a single step out the door. The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice. But how would she know they smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Oya couldn't even be lured close to it. She thinks Baba is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dumb lamp, so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, dead stools and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me, and I liked to hide in the closet to listen to Oya count outside. 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me, and then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. I guess to the kitchen then? Wait, do I go here again? Okay, Mom. Anton, get your ass out of the closet immediately. Okay, I'm here with Mom. I can't click on Mom. Maybe I open the fridge, I guess? Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olia in there. But now I could see meat bits with soup and clumped together. Pelmeni? I grew to hate them already. Oh, there's nothing there. I mean, I guess... Is there something I'm supposed to touch? Oh! I can interact with stuff. The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf, first thing in the morning, as if the coming day would get lost in the tiger forest without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched this calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions, to be exact. I grabbed a dusty calendar leaf with caution, and it tore off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky descriptions from my childhood were still there. 7 horses carry the log. 7 can't bring the earth from a fairy. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate the log cannot escape. I crumpled the grey leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on blotting paper. That had to be the longest description on a calendar I've ever probably read in my life. I can click on the radio. Is there something else I can click on besides this newspaper now? Okay, I'll take it. I took a peek at Mom's crossword. She would get very angry when someone gave her advice, so me and Dad faked knowing the answer and being about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at that fleeting thought. Vertical, 9 letters, the name of the Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname, the Lord of Flies. The second letter is E. With the radio. EMCOM of Russia had declared a state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving towards the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snowdrifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. The side of an ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings. Mom's recipes and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs that all you like so much. Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Saikono. I read inside my mind as the officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by 2 pieces of a broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as it dawned me. I leaned towards it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I would finally find Boba to be the first to call the police with the happy news. Mom. Anton! Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. Mom, what do you need it for? Hands off, you lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. Turn back. What is this? Mom's pig top, a family relic. My mom played with it when she was little, then she gifted it to me. Olivia was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She stared at the dancing spindle, as if it could show her something, a fairy tale, maybe even our future. Now even my sister was a bit too old for the old squeaky pig top. What about the cross? This cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm. But she cut herself with a sharp corner and almost fell from the stepladder. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone. To the kitchen? Can I speak to Mom? Oh, I can. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Anton. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. Mom, you're killing me here. So, have you had enough of shouting those stupid ducks now? Mom, told you the kinetoscope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings? Anton says. Please go see for yourself. Mom, strange, it worked fine in the morning. Anton, maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and moved to Olia's room. Imagine me leaving through the window. Okay, so I think I can go to the front yard now. Oh, I can. Okay. I opened the front gate and went into the field. carefully so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw the silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ask, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows, crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Oya. Time had reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Oya turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they when they kissed me with all your present, he always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke up, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From whose though? From the people with dead cold eyes, who sometimes visited us in our previous home. The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground in everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. Who is this? There were only one. There were only me, this white field and the wind that was whooping up icy dust in belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. I looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobbing tree roots, slithering under the snow like fat snakes, rotting leaves and coniferous needles frozen to the ice. Dry prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hundreds, semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will Smitten helped him find the lost boy? Bova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Bova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Bova! They sounded closer to me. Someone was standing there, behind the trees, hiding. Bova! I know someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally towards the ground, its blackness. There was no time, there was no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped wings loudly. A shadow split from the trees and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Yeah, take that thing. Take it! I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. What the? Wova! The hell? The shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no reply. Take the bastard! Take it! Take it and get out! I stepped towards the bristly trees and tried to calm my find. Tried to claim my find. Didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy. Weight. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny stream between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Is that blood? Oh, nasty! Oh! I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Oh, that is nasty. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. You'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone. Forever. There was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it, don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils stuck in freezing air. It sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. They whooped. They wheezed. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry! Run! Don't look back! It felt as if I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious, like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap, just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever the sticky one? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. I had reached a clear path with one jump, and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paw, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave away. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch plank creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom picked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. Mom, what exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? Anton, I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone. and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Yeah, we were 5 minutes away from Mom. My fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it the last bit of strength I had left in my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Mom, where have you been? What did I tell you? Huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and pulled on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Mom, your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest. Did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? Anton, I, th- there was someone chasing me. I thought. I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there, at the fence, Mom said. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs. Just a small pack of strays, with no name or owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that lived on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton, Mom said. Anton, they were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if they were firstborn son. Mom, what if they attack earlier? Anton, Mom? Mom, I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Anton, Mom, look, they're alive. Mom, huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Oh, I'm detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? Mitten, of course. A darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my head. Seems like I was crushing it the whole time. As my trump card as a detective, I hurried to present the stew to my mom. Mom, look, this is Bova's mitten. That boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show where. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us to. Mom, look. Mom, you. A shadow of doubt slowly creeping onto Mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Mom, stop at this moment. Ollie will go insane if she hears you. He already has trouble sleeping in mines all the time, and you joke around like this? At that moment I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy, cried Wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pulse. A golden-colored ball, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell onto my palm. Anton, I already took one during breakfast. Mom, don't talk over me. I told you to stay home. And Dad would have given you a good whooping for that. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave a taste of chlorine. Anton, maybe it wasn't Boba's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all, just like the forest monsters and Ozya's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexcited brain didn't let feel inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing lonely indifference along with it. Mom, Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. Mom, take off your coat. Will you sleep? Anton, no. Mom, I was just thinking. Mom, what about? I wonder. Anton, it's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Mom, is everything alright? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. Anton, I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Mom, fine. It seemed like the house had changed. Sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom towels. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. The melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Ollie was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopping before the sink and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Before and Largo's voice died down. I walked past Olia's bedroom and slipped into my own. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitten there. The simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. I only noticed then there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hands dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to the medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The room's corners bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor, just like a servant of sorts. Anton, oh yeah, who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried up lips. Anton, yeah, oh yeah, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtain. Ba-dum, ba-dum, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtain. Olia, gotcha. I knew it was you from the beginning, said Anton. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olia's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child born from life. Olia, I saw everything. Anton, oh, really? Olia, what did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little. Before she put on a sad mask of tiredness and switched to a commanding tone of voice. Anton, it's nothing. Just. Olia ran up to the table, her eyes round and asked, You stole something and hid it there. Were you a thief? What? Don't be stupid, Anton said. Anton, I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten, hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure, standing behind black trees. Oya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Oya, then show me. Anton, swear that you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Oya wore a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart, Oya said. An oath she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Anton, don't say things like that. Oya nodded and made a gesture with her hand, knocking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Oya leaned in, holding a breath. It looked like it was not just a simple mutton, but some sort of exotic critter. Oya, is this someone's mutton? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. Anton, a certain boy lost it, and got lost himself. Now you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? Oya, must be really cold out there. Oya, will they find him? Anton, they will. Anton, the police are going house to house, showing his photo to everybody. Oya traversed the room with care and pressed the tiny palms against the window. Oya, why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. Anton, the police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mutton? Or did it appear later? For me? I changed the topic. It is time to get Oya to get as far away as possible from the forest thicket. Anton, we may get a reward if I go and find this boy myself. A lot of stuff. I can feel the wonders. Sounds cool, right? Oya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. Oya, what if the owl got him? Anton, nonsense. An owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced him out of my overexcited brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's, how should I put it? It's cursed or something. Oya, just like a fairy tale? No, not like that, Anton said. More like in that spooky type moment they were hiding from us. Oya shivered and stole a glance at the window. Oya, I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? Anton, no, it's just I was hiding back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile, so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and a small fire would be gone. Oya, you're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in a tower. Can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here. Anton, you're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. When you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. Oya, you know what I would wish for on my next birthday? I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. Oh, that's so adorable. Anton, yeah, and if you made them as small as bugs, we could place them in a little box. Oya giggles and tug at my sleeve. Oya, Tony, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. Anton, I'm too tired. I don't want to. Oya, come on. Oya, it's so boring alone and Mom is always busy. You can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before. I know. Anton, I know all about tapes by heart at this point. Oh yeah, not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go, let's go. Anton, maybe a bit later. Oh yeah, did I tell you how it ends? Anton, let's leave that for tomorrow. Oh yeah, I won't tell you tomorrow. Oh yeah, I know, let's play hide and seek. Anton, no. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, then draw me a dino. Anton, oh yeah, please. Oh yeah, throw it, throw it. Anton, will you leave me alone already? I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olga stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seized with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olga from crying. Alright, you win, let's go watch cartoons for a bit. Olga, I don't want to. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Anton, let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Olga, boo! You'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted a chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't, and I'll draw you a full triceratops later. Olga, hooray! Triceratops. Anton, well, close enough. Olga rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face. Olga, I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. Condensed milk and bread? Wow! Olga, the bread is fresh, just how you like it. Anton, alright, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again. Oh yeah, when I bet I won't spill it, the tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Odo disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. That scared me a bit. Oh god. Oh, I can't do this anymore. Oh, yeah.